love this. I want to say something.
Do you know what you want to say?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do. I've thought about it. I've formulated a good response to this question. I think that the most important thing, there's a great scene in the movie between you guys where you're talking about how cultivated certain images are and how, it's not always what people think. In music, people spend a lot of time figuring out who they are and presenting that to the world in a very calculated way. And I think that in order to understand what selling out is, you first have to define what it means to sell out, to do something that you don't want to do because you might be able to gain something financially for it and not be behind something that you wind up doing for some other reason is probably what I'd call selling out. Not feeling good about doing something that might help you get ahead. But doing something that you love, regardless of whether it's a blockbuster movie or you're writing a pop song or trying shamelessly to succeed in something, is not selling out. I think that's actually fine, and I would encourage that all the time. Selling out really comes when you sacrifice your own personal credibility in order to have success on a larger scale. That's selling out, doing something that makes you feel gross and benefiting from it. That's what that is to me, and it's very clear cut. But people do have a hard time defining it, and they kind of throw a lot of things out there and say that, oh, this is a giant movie or something, so means this person sold out, or this is a huge record that's very popular that a lot of people like. And I always hated that growing up. When my favorite bands became successful, I thought, good for them. That is amazing. Congratulations. I still love you. I didn't get that selfish, possessive attitude about, well, they were mine and now they're everyone else's and I don't like them anymore. That's a horrible way to operate. God, they get to, pay the bills and have an amazing life. This is great. So that's how I feel about that.
I got into acting because I want to act and I love acting, and so that's my true north, is to be creative and to be challenged in what I love to do. And sometimes that takes me into a big budget movie, sometimes that takes me into a small budget movie, but I'm doing essentially the same thing in each one of those. And in every one of those, I'm stretching in a way that I hadn't, or that's my aim. And so I come from the theater, and in the theater, you're never pegged for one thing. You can be comedy in one season. You could be the romantic lead the next season. You could do a period piece the next season, something modern the next season. No one ever says to you, this is what you have to do, or this is what we expect of you. And so that work ethic is what I've tried to bring, or not what I've tried, is just what I know to bring to my film work as well. And so it just takes you on this wild ride. And the day that I decide to do something just purely for monetary gain, or for the idea that this is going to get me what I need to do to get to the next thing, or set me up financially in a way that I could do this next thing, I think is incredibly cynical and will only lead to your downfall in some way or another. It hurts your creative self. And so that's the idea of selling out is such it's a projection that people create about people that is more of a reflection of who they are than what is actually happening in front of with the artist. I think a lot of times.
We have time for just one more question. Yes, you in the blue.
Hi, I wanted to ask Keira and everyone else, how did you relate to sort of the romantic and the heartbreak aspect of the movie? What your character was going through?
I mean, I think I think that's what I liked about the film, is that you could kind of take it out of the music industry, and actually essentially what it's about is people falling down in life and trying to pick themselves back up. And whether that's romantically or whether that's in a career or whatever that, I think you can't be an adult and not have felt that in whatever extreme way. So obviously, I completely understood where she was coming from. Not actually the actual scenario, but the feeling of suddenly, thinking that you know exactly what's going on and who you are and where you're going, and then suddenly finding that you have absolutely no idea who you are, where you're going, or what's going on. I mean, I don't think you can be an adult and not have experienced that.
And on that note, thank you guys very much for joining us.
Thanks very
today.
much.
Thank you all.